Well, how do you do, my fellow movie peeps? Reactions and reviews have now been released for the latest Marvel movie, The Marvels. And lately it feels like a lot of superhero fans have been keeping their pulse on every single Marvel project, wondering, alright, is this proof that Marvel is finally flopping? Or is this another win for us to get excited and say the MCU is back? Thought we were saying it was back with Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but we moved on from that apparently. And well, as someone who hasn't seen the Marvels just yet, I watch it tomorrow and I'll post a review for you guys then. I thought, why not go ahead and take a look at a lot of the early reviews and reactions, and as fans, kind of decode for ourselves, what is the problem Marvel is facing? What are the critics or even just regular audience members hoping to see out of a Marvel movie nowadays? And I'm hoping that's the discussion we can have down below. Actual critical thinking skills in use. Don't be using words like woke, agenda, Chris, you're the most handsomest YouTuber out there. Like, I've heard those so many times already. Put your thinking cap on and actually have some critical analysis on why you think Marvel just isn't at their height anymore and what could bring them back. Alright, so as of me recording this video right now, The Marvels is sitting with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 58%. That's a total of 110 reviews, so out of those 110 reviews, only 58% of the reviews actually like the movie. And you know, it's looking like The Marvels might be a pretty mixed bag. I feel like when people see the automatic rotten on there, they just think, well, the movie's trash, the movie's garbage, when really that just tells you you have a 50-50 chance of enjoying this movie. Heck, one or two more positive reviews and that 58 turns positive into a tomato. And I was kind of shocked by like the giant scale between reviews that people were coming out with, because I saw a lot of people enjoying it, having a good time with this movie, and other people just being to the extreme saying this is a garbage film, and I'm curious where people are going to land on it. So let's go with some of these reviews, starting positive and working our way to the negatives. A positive review I have here goes with, okay, honest opinion time. The Marvels is a great movie. You don't even notice that it's only 105 minutes long. Nia did an amazing job. The fight scenes are literally out of this world. Choreography on point, and the end credits scene, I screamed. Go watch it. I'm serious. Another positive review I have here is The Marvels was fun. Great chemistry from the trio, along with some of the best fight scenes I've seen in the MCU. I finally love Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. So glad she was able to bring more of herself into the role. Villain was meh, but overall, a good time. Coming into a review now where things are starting to be a little mixed, we have one saying, in a year that gave us the big low of Quantumania and the high of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, The Marvels is a solid middle-of-the-path entertaining MCU installment. Fun and funny and built around a likable team dynamic, though not special enough to overcome many of those now superhero cynical. Alright, so just stopping there, it looks like the main things that people are enjoying about the movie is the dynamic within the team. I've seen a lot of other reactions and reviews heavily praise Iman Vellani, which I gotta be honest with you, that's my main draw to this movie, even though I think Captain Marvel gets a lot of exaggerated hate. Even I myself gotta admit, I'm not like that super looking forward to a sequel of her movie, but with the introduction of Miss Marvel, she's a fun new character in the MCU, and she's the main reason I kind of want to go see this film. And in almost every review you'll see online, they are just non-stop praising her, and I think Marvel is going to go big with her. We're not going to get season 2 of Miss Marvel. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think Kevin Feige knows the strength of a fun character that people enjoy, and oh, there's definitely got to be some sort of like Young Avengers thing lined up where she's one of the head people. I'm also seeing a lot of praise for the action scenes in here. I was thinking that's got to be a fun part of the movie, seeing them swap powers and locations. It's good to know throughout the film they looks like they used it to their advantage. Now, I'll have to wait and see if it's the best action scenes in the MCU. I can think of a couple of others that no way they can beat. I'm still high on that Shang-Chi bus fight scene, man. I'm waiting for something like that to show up. But okay, cool. That's the positive stuff we got here. Now let's get into the people that were really just not digging this movie and some of the things that are kind of scaring me as a fan. So we got one review here that says, The Marvels is the most confusing film in the MCU since Eternals, and maybe more so. Requires real homework. The ladies are fun, and the cat scene is hilarious, but I was lost most of the time, which made it dull. The villain was terrible. Skip. Another review here says, The Marvels better than the first because it runs well under 2 hours, but it's still narrative visual gibberish, highly dependent on knowledge of the TV shows, tonal balance non-existent. Iman Vellani is comedic gold, fun mid-credit scene, nothing post-credit scene. Another one here before we break down these more negative ones. The Marvels shines when Nia DaCosta is able to lean into the emotions of the characters and embrace silliness of it all. The three leads are great, otherwise it's more of the same, bogged down by the weight of its own universe with a lackluster script and generic villains. And man, bogged down by the weight of its own universe. It used to be see Marvel could flex. Oh boy, we got 22 films, all of them with positive scores, making tons of profit. Now we've hit that point where the universe is so large. There's so many projects that the films now are kind of reliant on you knowing that knowledge, having that homework done, and it's kind of hurting the quality of the films. These past 3 reviews were talking about how real homework is needed to see this movie. And we've been talking about that. Not only do you need to see the first Captain Marvel movie, you need to see WandaVision, you need to see Miss Marvel, and you need to catch up on Secret Invasion. Like, sure, if you're a fan keeping up with that, that's fine. But how many people want to go through that process just to be all the way in the know for an okay movie? It's one thing if this movie was like a 10 out of 10, it's like, all right, do your homework, it's gonna be worth it. But to go through all that content just to walk out of the theater going, meh, that was alright, I think kind of sucks. I'll never forget the feeling I had when watching Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness and how little the movie really wanted to fill you in on Wanda now being a villain, having this lost children, her searching for them out in the multiverse. I was like, man, if you did not watch WandaVision, this would be a complete 180 from the last time you saw her in Endgame/Infinity War. And it feels like every Marvel project that's at least a sequel or connected to the big universe is going to feel that way. Just so lost and jarring if you didn't see 2 random episodes on Disney Plus. And I don't even know if it's worth bringing up that the villain of the film is weak. I think we all could have seen that coming from the trailers. Nothing about the marketing screamed that this villain was going to be memorable at all. Bring me here to the most negative reviews I have seen of them all. Let's go into it. We have one here saying The Marvels is such a disjointed mess. It feels like there are countless scenes missing from this film. Characters appear and disappear without much explanation. Energy levels are high, but so much of the film is way too childish for its own good. It feels like a Disney Plus movie. Another review here, and man, I saw this guy getting cooked online. He was saying here, The Marvels is Justice League's levels of bad. IDK, what the hell I just sat through? So many random threads, empty payoffs, a lack of any real emotion or character, tonally and narratively, a Jackson Pollock painting, a season finale to a non-existent season of television, a mess. Those are some strong words. And again, I'm respecting their opinion. I'm going to try and put all these thoughts aside, positive and negative, and form my own once I see this movie. But just going off what they're saying here, I have seen other reviews mention this also, that the movie feels choppy. Like there are some things missing in here, like there was reshoots done. I even saw one review mention that this movie feels more like Captain Marvel 3, that throughout it they explain to you a mission that Captain Marvel went through, which should have been this movie instead. And that got me thinking, it's like, oh, that is kind of crazy. The first Captain Marvel took place in the 90s. This new one is in modern day. That's almost 30 years. Or heck, it actually is 30 years by now. Like, that is a big gap in between sequels, and a lot of history must have happened to Carol Danvers. I guess they fill you in on that, and part of the audience is going, why couldn't we see a movie of that stuff? Why are we just filling this in sentences? I'm also curious about the expectation people are having for this movie, because there's not a part of me that was like, this is gonna be the next biggest thing. Like, I literally am just going in wanting to have fun. If it can literally just do that, I'll be okay, but I don't know what other people are wanting. So unless like the narrative plot holes or the dialogue or just characterizations are just so jarringly bad that I can't enjoy the funness of the movie, I gotta wonder what went wrong here. But that's kind of the reviews I'm seeing right here. So it's really kind of a 50-50 chance. In fact, I feel like if right now you know you don't care about this, you're not going to like the movie. So what's the point of you going out and seeing it? To fill in on that MCU homework, right? That's the issue with Marvel. You want to watch that post-credit scene that's probably been spoiled to you on TikTok or YouTube, whatever. That's why I'm kind of excited for the Marvel Spotlight brand. It's like letting you know, is like, you don't have to see this. If you're interested in this, check it out and have fun. But let's move into a phase where every project can have a contained story with minor setup to the next thing. And then when it's time for the big setup movie, go all out. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on it. I want to hear from you guys. Again, be honest with me, positive or negative. What do you think people are expecting from the Marvels, or what do you think Marvel is doing wrong? Anything and everything, be sure and like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, 3C Films, or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.